Tell me a ghost story that sounds completely unbelievable but is entirely true.
I have one for y'all. I haven't shared this one yet because it really freaks me out. Same as the other 100 stories I have stored up in my noggin that I just haven't been able to bring myself to talk about on here yet. Back in like 2012, I was still in high school and I had an older friend who was a stay-at-home mom who had 4 kids. She was my best friend at the time. I spent a lot of time at her house.
I know this is going to be good. I can feel it.
Helping her with her kids, helping her clean her house, just hanging out, having fun. She lived in this old white farmhouse out in the middle of the woods. And yes, we do live in the Appalachian Mountains. But the house always gave me the creep.
This sounds like where I grew up. Not the mountains, but definitely a creepy old white house.
One day when my mom took me and dropped me off there, she was like, "Hey, my best friend used to live in this house." She said, "Has she experienced anything paranormal yet?" And she went on to tell me that one night her best friend was asleep in that house. She too was a mother. And so her bedroom was where my friend's little boy's bedroom was. So as she was sleeping one night, she was there alone and her husband,
Oh my gosh, what is about to happen?
was not home. She woke up to the covers being ripped off of her in the middle of the night. So of course she freaked out and she packed her bags immediately and moved out. She got herself and her kids.
The thing I'll note is that the audio is now delayed on her video. It wasn't before, but now do you notice that the words aren't matching her sound? And she actually notes this in the comments. She says, "The fact that this video glitched and the audio doesn't match low-key freaks me out even more," which is also something I've been experiencing a lot when trying to even film any reaction videos, is like constant audio glitches.
Out of the house that night and never went back. So of course I shared this knowledge with my then best friend. And I was like, "Has anything crazy like that happened to you here?" And she said, "No, we haven't really noticed anything at all." I don't know if me talking about it just made things start happening again or if she just started noticing after that. But that very night we were sitting there talking.
They say if you talk about it, things will start happening again, so you might be right.
And we heard a Christmas bear going off in the attic. Like, she used the attic for storage. And she had a stuffed animal bear up there and it played Christmas music if you squeezed it.
I just had a memory. I used to have a doll that didn't have any batteries and would not stop singing when I was growing up. I will talk about Bath Time Baby another day.
Hand. So we're sitting there in this creepy old silent house. I'm sorry, I'm shaking. I'm freaked out. Just talking about it still really scares me. But we hear the Christmas music coming from the attic and we're like, what the hell? So she has her husband go and check it out and nothing's up there.
Just sitting there and there's this, oh my gosh, it's Christmas music.
But yeah, the Christmas bear was playing music. So after that, stuff just really started popping off. Walking past her little boy's room just gave you like the worst vibe ever. There were times we would be sitting in the living room, which was like on the other side of the wall to the little boy's room, when none of the kids were home. And you'd hear like their fire.
The delay makes it all that scarier.
Across the room or rolled across the floor. And remember, that was the room that my mom's best friend had lived in and the blankets got ripped off of her in the middle of the night. One day we were sitting in her bed folding clothes. We were going through stuff, so she had a bunch of stuff sitting on her dresser. I mean, it was like piled up with stuff. We're sitting there talking, laughing, and all of a sudden every single item that is on that dresser gets thrown across the room. So hard.
Can you imagine you're just chilling? It's just a bunch of things that are on a table just get thrown around. That'd be horrifying.
Heard that things were broken. That moment right there was probably one of the scariest things I think I've ever experienced. Whatever it was had a lot of force. And although they never noticed anything paranormal before I brought it up, I think it's worth mentioning that at one point in time, her and her boys decided to switch bedrooms. During the 2 weeks that they had switched bedrooms, my friend completely lost her mind and had to go check herself into an insane asylum because she wanted to end her life. When she got back,
I was thinking recently, which I don't know if it's a good thought process to go down, but how many people's like mental illness is related to something like we can't see in terms of spiritual or like demonic attachments. What do you guys think?
home, they switched back bedrooms, and she was fine. I truly think whatever demonic energy was in that room was just like preying on her. And
if you have a ghost story you want me to react to, comment the channel below.